Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And today, Blueberry and I are going to be talking about my favorite horror covers. My favorite horror book covers of all time. You might ask yourself, why 21? And it's because I miscounted, and there's 21 here and not 20, but whatever. They're all good, and I didn't want to remove any of them because they dope. So, they always, those people are like, oh, you can't judge a book on its cover. And you're like, yeah, that's fair, but I can enjoy a beautiful cover. And there's few things with more beautiful covers than, oh, Blueberry, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? You can't have my coffee. What are you doing? You can't stand there. You're blocking the sound. The sound gets bad if you're in front of there. I love you, my man, but you gotta make a choice. What are you doing? I gotta cut so much of this out of the video. You can't stand there. You're standing in front of the mic. It sounds all muffled. Oh no, what are you doing? Oh goodness. Alright, Blueberry. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to close the door. Anyways, cat shenanigans aside, I chose these 21 book covers based off of, many things. Some of them are goofy. Some of them I think are actually pretty great pieces of artwork. All of them have a close spot in my spooky heart and soul. If you're one of those people who are like, meh, I like Rembrandt and I think you have terrible tasting covers. Like, that's fair. You can have that opinion. Okay, so we're going to start off. These are in no particular order. These are just 21 of my favorite covers. So we're going to start off with a person you will see a few times on this. A person whose covers always surpass the material within, and that is none other than J.N. Williamson. Death Coach I love because it's just got a very classic-looking version of the Grim Reaper with this, like, frankly, swanky-looking coach. Like, I want to be in this coach. Like, that sounds dope. And, like, I love that instead of, like, the more stylized versions of the Grim Reaper, it literally is just like a Scully Skulliston in the hood. So I'm like, yoo, that's cool. I also like how he's like missing some teeth. It's like, all I want for Halloween is my two front teeth. That was lame. Don't worry, some of these jokes will be lame, but some of them will be better. Speaking of things that are better, here is a cover for Vampire in Moscow, and I just love it because it's a vampire bat getting staked by the freaking Soviet Union hammer and sickle. It's so ridiculous. It's also extra ridiculous when you look at where it's impaled on. Because it's impaled on what would normally be the handle for the sickle. Because the sickle has a handle, and then at the top, this is the part where the sickle part comes in. So, how the hell has anyone been using this sickle? Because the sickle also has a bladed end there. Where did people going to be holding the sickle? Regardless, it's killing vampires, and you can't get much better than that. I'm sure this book is terrible, but I don't care. I'm here for the cover. Like, it's so cool. And it feels cool, because it's like kind of, it's like there's some embossed elements to it. And, so the words in this font are embossed. And then, this cool looking bat getting impaled, he's also embossed. I absolutely love it. Of course, there's no way this book is good. That doesn't really matter, because the cover is fantastic. Fantastic. Next one is as you can see, I love me and my Skelly boys. So this is Razored Saddle, which is a horror western collection. And so I love the cover. The cover is cool with the skeleton cowboy. And he's hanging out on a normal-looking horse. That horse is like, man, I don't know, he treats me better than normal fleshy cowboys. I don't mind a skeleton cowboy man. I think it just is a very cool, striking cover, and it's very much emblematic of the Old West. But I love that there is kind of like a darker element to the sky. But when you look behind him, he's like clearly on like a mesa. So it's like very much invoking that style of the Old West. But this time it's with skeleton cowboys. Also, I think this gets extra points because on the spine, it has a thing that doesn't exist for any other genre. So like most of the time when you look at the spine under the publisher, it will say the genre: thriller, horror, romance, smuttersons, whatever it is that you're reading. But this one in particular, it has its own thing called cowpunk horror, which there's no other entries in cowpunk horror, and it was just put on this one book for a funny gag. So I am there when someone goes all in for a bit, and I always appreciate it. So this one is not only a great cover, it also has a great spine, because you ain't got no other cowpunk horror in your collection. Next up, another classic Skelly. This is from Shadows 4. Now, all of the Shadows paperbacks have, like, amazing covers. It was really hard. I was going through all of them. I have Shadows 1 to 9. I unfortunately don't have Shadows 10 or the final Shadows yet. I just can't afford them. They're the ones that, like, I think were only on hardback. Well, no, Final Shadows did get a paperback, but I've never seen a paperback version of Shadows 10. Anyways, regardless, this is only for your Shadow collectors. And it might be me and one other weirdo in Wisconsin. Regardless, this cover is swanky and badass. I just love when it's like a kind of a classical, like, you know, you're in a cemetery. But it's not just any cemetery. You can see cobwebs in the cemetery. So you got some spiders living there. And then this guy, he's just like, he's in this little outfit. He's like, yeah, I'm a skeleton, but I like to put on a cape, and, you know, I like to lead people around. He has hair for some reason. I don't know why the skeleton has hair, but that kind of makes it fun. He kind of looks like a Ludwig van Beethoven skeleton. So, I don't know, maybe he's like taking him to a concert. A Skelly concert. There's so many opportunities with this cover. Your imagination will take you away. Next up is one that I just like the look of. It's just like a cool look. And this is Gilded Needles, a Michael McDowell cover. Most Michael McDowell books have really good covers. Like The Amulet is the one that's like a really cool looking cover and is also famous. But for whatever reason, I just like this. I just like the way it looks. I like that there's like blood dripping. Like, I would be like so cool if you like went to the club and some ladies like, maybe showing me my nails. And it's like, wow. And you're like, oh my God, those aren't normal nails. Those are gilded nails. Or in this book, it's Gilded Needles, but, I mean, you know, when I consider needles, I think you gotta, like, put the thing in it. Those aren't needles, those are nails. Or claws, maybe gilded claws. I don't know, Gilded Needles still sounds cool when you say it out loud, but regardless, I just love the way this looks. It's so cool. And a lot of it is embossed as well. Like, so these needles are embossed, which is so cool. So it just feels nice to be like, ooh, I'm rising with the needles. Also, I didn't realize, look at this, Satan's Circus. Is this a circus book? Interesting. That's awesome. And I'm glad that Satan has his own circus, because I've been to God's circus. Not good. So I'm sure Satan put it on a much better show. Also, I do like that you get the sprayed edges there, and it's red. So this is really like one of those like full package books. Every ounce of it is beautiful. This is one that, I don't know, but just appeals to me. There's something about it I just love, and that's Dawn of the Vampire by William Hill. Haven't read this one yet, but look at this. Ooh, it's a shiny one. It's a shiny one. I'm like a crow. If I see something shiny, I'm like, woo, I want it. Or is that ravens? Nevermore. Whatevs. Regardless, this is very cool, and I love it. It's so cool. And I love when, like the vampires are coming out of the water. And I like the background. It's like this snowy mountain. And you're like, whoa. Can you imagine? You're like hanging at the lake, and then all of a sudden the vampire's like, whoa. Like, come on, bro. What are you doing? I'm trying to have a nice day at the lake. And he's like, nah, bitch. I'm a vampire. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. I think that's my only holographic cover. Most of my other holographic covers, they just don't, like, they just have not held the up to time. And they have a lot of wear to them, and they're not as shiny. And that one is still shiny, so I'm like, ew. By the way, I am drinking pumpkin spice coffee out of a Halloween 2 mug. I'm committing to the bit today. Here's another Jan Williamson one. This is a famous one. People always bring this one up. This is Dead to the World, which is just a skeleton that's going on a jog. He's just a jog skeleton. Like, you know, I'm just like imagining like you're like going for a walk in the morning. You got yourself a Starbucks. You're like drinking by. You see a jogger come by. And you're like, oh, look at this guy. He's getting out. He's doing his laps. And you like look at him. You're like, oh shit, he's a skeleton. Wow, damn, it's a Skelly. I just love it. It's something about this. It's so weird that there's no background to this image though, like because it's just hyper focused on the skeleton jogger, because like I would feel like there would be other things in the background. Like I don't know if they didn't give the author, the artist, enough time, and they're just like, we just need a skeleton doing something. Come on, we got a book to come out in 2 days. Give me a skeleton. And he's like, it's jogging now. And he didn't put in the background, but regardless, it's so funny because the skeleton is here, the jogging skeleton is here, and the jogging skeleton is there. The entire design of this book is like, we have a jogging skeleton. That's it. That's all you need to know. Jogging skeleton here to stay. And I'm here with it. Although I do like how the tagline is alive with evil, dead to the world. That's pretty good. It sounds like a hymn. I don't know. I don't go to church, so maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Next one. This is Michael Slade's Ghoul. This one like is like one of those like is it a thriller? Is it a horror? We don't really know. It's fine. Regardless, this cover kicks ass. It's so cool looking because it's like, you know, a vinyl record is like, oh, you're so hipster and you love vinyl so much. Well, now it's melted onto your face, bitch. And you're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I love it. Not much I can say about this one because it's just cool looking. It's just you look at it and you're like, huh, that's cool. I like it. And I agree with you. This one is a book that I actually think, because mine is in worse condition, the book cover actually looks cooler. So I may have the coolest version of this book, unless yours has aged the same way. And this is Chelsea Quinn Yarborough's False Dawn. Yeah, it's a werewolf, and he's riding a motorcycle. And it looks like, this book looks like I just found it in the apocalypse. Like, it's so cool looking. It's like ratty, but like it's ratty in the best way. And I'm just like, ooh, it's so cool. I think this might just be a post-apocalypse novel, so I don't really know how horror it gets. But I love Chelsea Quinn Yarborough as a writer, so I'm excited to eventually get to this. And the cover just looks fucking awesome. So, joy to the world, the motorcycling werewolf has come. Anyways, next up, this is one of my favorites. I fucking love this cover. I know that the paperback cover sometimes people seem to like more than this one, but for me, Usher's Passing by Robert R. McCammon, I really do think, again, this is just a full package. Like, I just love the way that it's like, this skeleton jack-o'-lantern is gonna eat your cool-looking Victorian castle. And it's like, yes! And I also love this book, so it has one of my favorite covers. And again, this is one of those ones that has like an awesome, like back to, and look at him, he looks pretty cool. You put a werewolf head on this, he could have been the biker from the other one. Who maybe he was the, maybe he was the model for the, the werewolf biker in the last one. I don't know. But yeah, he just looks cool. I like he's dressed very fall cozy. So I'm like, yeah, he's got a good sense of style and he's got a good cover. So you go, Mr. McCamey. Here's one that I DNF'd, but I couldn't get rid of it, so I'm going to have to maybe go back to read it again or decide what to do with it. But this is Junkyard by Barry Porter. And it's just, it's cool. It's just a big old rat monster. He's hanging out in the dump. He was like, yo, this is my barrel. I love it. It's my favorite thing. I do also like this because the spine, like the book, the cover does kind of blend into the spine a little bit, and I think that is kind of what makes the entire package worthwhile. The back cover is kind of boring and basic bitch, but I do love this part, where it's like, yeah, so there's not much to be said about a rat that enjoys hanging out, and we are here for it. We're here for it. Next up, Gila B Simmons. I love this book, and I love this cover. The freaking giant Gila monster is fucking up a fair, and that happens in the book. I should send this to Kelsey. I might have to send this to Kelsey because of the carnival. Because this is like a carnival-ass corny book. Because it's just giant, killer Gila monsters that eat everyone. And it was written by a woman. So there you go. Les Simmons is a pseudonym, actually. And similar to Junkyard, this one, the spine is also a bleed over of the main cover. So yeah, that's really cool. I really do like that. And this is one of my favorite vintage horror reads. It's not particularly going to like change your life, but it is just very fun and ridiculous. Next up is a book I definitely just tracked down because of the cover. This is Werewolf SS by Jerry Ahern and Sharon Ahern. And this book is only here because, it's a cool photo of a evil werewolf. But when you look at the freaking eyes, what is that? Oh, fuck, it's a Nazi werewolf. Can you imagine how scary that would be if all of a sudden you're being tracked down by a werewolf and you're like, oh shit, it's a werewolf. He's gonna eat me. And then you look into its pupils and you're like, oh shit, it's a Nazi werewolf. No! Now we're extra boned. This thing is gonna kill us. It's scary looking. Oh my god, can you imagine how scary a werewolf with swastika pupils would be? It'd be scary, man. It'd be scary. I don't want to be killed by a werewolf Nazi. Next up, one that is just this, my version depresses me because I accidentally ripped the cover when I was trying to remove the thrift book sticker. Oh, I will never get over it, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. This is Bloodworm by John Helkin. And I just love this. There's another cover that some people seem to like a little bit more, and is the one that got actually featured in Paperbacks from Hell, but I think this is a way better cover. This cover looks way cooler. This version of the Bloodworm looks cooler than the other one. Fight me in the comments. Please don't. I don't want to fight anyone. I hope you all having a good day. Yeah, so this is cool. It's just a big old worm with, gonna eat England. It's like, yo, bitch. Can't colonize me. And just gonna eat all of England. So, good for the worm. Good for the worm. Next up, this is a simple one. This is Kill Riff. David J. Shaw's The Kill Riff. And I mainly love it because I just like how the guitar ends in knives. Huh. That's cool. That's a little quaint. You can't really play those, though. I don't know how he's gonna be playing the freaking knife guitar, because it's gonna cut you. And it's also probably not going to be tuned very well. I don't know how you tune a set of knives, but hey, we're not here for logic. We're here for knife guitars. I love you, knife guitar man. This one I showed off recently. This is The Foundling, which is, imagine if Rosemary's Baby had a baby. And yeah, this is like an evil demon child playing the guitar. I can't say anything more about it. It's just too cool. This is the coolest thing. None of us will ever be as cool as Rosemary's Baby's baby playing a guitar. So, they say it's an evil child, but I don't know. I think she's probably cooler than us. Next up, this is a book that I actually had to go out of my way to track down the UK cover because it's way better than the frickin' US cover. And that is Death Dream by Graham Masterton. I read the first one in this series, so I really want to read this because I read Night Warriors, which is the first book in this series, and it was super fun and had the funniest scene ever where a giant evil eel bites off a cop's dick. Anyways, it's hilarious. It's amazing. And it's a great book. So I'm really excited to read the sequel, Death Dream. I don't know if it'll be very good, but, I hope it is. I hope it's good. Next up, this is a classic Stephen King cover and my favorite Stephen King cover of all time. This is the one for Night Shift where it's like, yo, my hand's got eyeballs. What you gonna do about all my eyeballs on my hand? And I just love the way it looks. I love the way the gauze is here, and I love how this one part is like see-through. There is another version of this I have, which is the original paperback version, which had this as a step back, where like the main cover, you could just see the eyes, and you open up, and you're like, whoa, that's not just the eyes, that's a hand with eyes. And I just don't think it's as cool as just the entire full-out, here's the hand, here's the eyes. I love it. I do think that this is my favorite Stephen King cover. Speaking of step backs, I haven't been showing off a lot, but this is always my favorite. This is Bring On the Night, which is a savage killer stalks Chicago. And I just love this because it gives me like David S. Pumpkins vibes, because he's just like, any questions? any questions? And he like opens the door up for you, and he's like, any questions? Yeah. Yes, as you can see, this vampire, he ate a cop. 10 out of 10. I'm all for this vampire. I have always just loved the way that the step back is like designed to be almost like a flip book, where it's like a freaking door. He's at the thing and he opens the door for you. He's like, oh, sir, let me in. Any questions? I don't know how many times I can do the any questions bit before someone turns it off, but I hope you didn't turn it off because there's 2 more awesome covers left. This one is just simple. This is the Freddy Krueger's 7 Sweetest Dreams. This one just looks like Freddy Krueger is like about to drop a mixtape. Like, look at this. He's just like, yo. He's like, whoa, hey girl, want to get my mixtape? It's called Bitch. Because he says bitch all the time. I don't know. And then there's also on the back cover, I'm pretty sure this is, I think both of these are probably snippets from Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series. This one is cool because he's got a tweed jacket on. It's just like Freddy Krueger with a tweed jacket. There's no reason. Why has he got a tweed jacket on? He's dropping his mixtape and now he's about to like teach you something in school. Like, you know, this is what your teacher does when a school's not in session. But as soon as school comes back in session, he's like, I got my tweed coat, bitch. Let's learn about Pride and Prejudice. This is it's dumb how much I love this cover, but I do. I love it. And actually, I do actually think, I don't know why, but this for me, I've always said is my favorite cover. And I think it's just because the entire image, it gives me the greatest feelings. And this is Spawn of Hell by William Scholl. William Scholl has a lot of badass cool covers, but this is my favorite by far. I just love this because it gives me like this very fall atmosphere, because you can see a few like, you know, you see some maple leaves. And again, this is another one of those covers that bleeds over to the spine, which is something I really, really like and appreciate. And there's a few cool little leaves on the ground. So it's like a very fall atmosphere where you're like, imagine like you're going through the streets and you're like, whoa, what's this red stuff on the ground? That's not a leaf. And then you look and you like see the freaking eyes looking at you from out of the freaking, you know, the manhole cover. And you're like, wow, wow. I think it's better than even that original It cover, which does kind of give the same vibes. But this gives the vibes even better. Even better. So yeah, those are mine. Have you read any of these books? I honestly have not read a lot of these books, but I do want to. So if any of these that you think that I should read and prioritize about others, let me know. What are your favorite covers? I would love to know. What did you think of the various covers I've shown, and which one was your favorite? Thank you, and have a day that is good. Goodbye.